have a lot of questions from our students, which we've taken from our Twitter page, Facebook page. So I will be asking you questions which have actually been asked by the students on social media. Sir, Megha Israni from Mumbai has a question for both of you actually, including CM Sir. She says, in recent years, you have made a lot of investments in startups, and the startup culture in colleges are booming. I, Megha, come from a small town of Latur, where we don't have access to this ecosystem and investors. How can we provide a boost to our city or any small town rural startups? Mr. Tata?
I think in most countries, startup activity is centered around a place that has the necessary startup infrastructure. The United States had two main startup areas. One was in Massachusetts around MIT, and the other was in California, Silicon Valley. Setting up different centers may not in themselves be a true success. What may need to happen is we need to provide a pathway for a startup company to go to the centers that have been established, and certainly one of them is the city of Mumbai, and make sure that startup companies from Latur and other places in Maharashtra do get heard. But I think for the time being, we should look at strengthening the center of startups in places which have the startup eco-culture. And I think if we can succeed in doing that, Maharashtra will continue to be the center of startup industry in the country.
Wow, so happy to hear that. And sir, your take on this?
Yeah, I think what Mr. Tata says is absolutely right, because startup requires creation of an ecosystem, and that ecosystem can be developed at specified spaces. But we can actually, as he has rightly said, can create a pathway where the ecosystem is accessible to everybody. So Mumbai, which is a natural startup hub, apart from that, now we want to create the entire ecosystem in Pune, and our government policy aspires to make Pune startup capital of India. So we'll create an entire ecosystem for startups in Pune, and taking a clue from Mr. Tata, we'll create a pathway where the startup ecosystem at Pune will be accessible to every single Maharashtrian startup.
Punekars, make some noise.
Well, this is to Mr. Tata. Pratik Shah from Kolhapur. His question is, Sir, I saw an interview where you said you wish you were 20 years younger. Sir, what would you do differently if your wish actually came true, sir?
Maybe this will upset you. You're expecting a different answer, but if I were 20 years younger, the one thing I would hope for is to be able to savor the changes that are happening in our country, which unfortunately at my age, I may not be around to savor what enormous changes we are having in a new India which is about to emerge. So even though I may not be there, that would be what I would aspire to enjoy, which I feel is going to be the new India of the new government, and our Chief Minister has done an enormous amount of contributing to sowing the seeds for this new India in Maharashtra. So that's what I would look for.
So one thing's for sure, that you have laid the foundation for New India, sir, and we are privileged to have your blessing with us always. Next question, sir. This Rangabadani Pucha hai. In India, it said, politics drives corporate, and corporate drives politics. How true is this in your views, Mr. Tata and CM, sir, both of you?
No, I think there is no harm if politics and corporate go hand in hand till the nation is first. So if the corporates and the politicians or the politics go hand in hand, keeping in a view that we are working for our nation and the motive is nation first, the transformation will be very fast. It is only if the collaboration between corporates and politics is for personal gain, I think that is harmful. But I think in the new India, I look forward where not just corporates and politics, but also people, everybody come together with a motive that nation is first. And with the nation first motive, if all of us collaborate and work, I think the new India concept, which our Honorable Prime Minister has floated and Mr. Tata has spoken about, will not be a distant dream, but in very few years we'll be able to achieve it.
Both our respected dignitaries had one solid point out there, which is nation first. Sir Swapnil Sawant from Amravati has a question for both of you. By when will India have automated driverless cars? It requires efforts in both policy and technology. What do you think about it? Mr. Tata?
I think driverless cars we have to look at in a couple of different ways. One way is to provide a means of transport which is akin to hired transport today. The other is to provide individual transport for individuals, replacing your private car. In the United States, driverless cars would be taking the place of personal cars, locking up traffic on the highway. In the case of India, if I look at Maharashtra, look at Mumbai as a city, the city is being overrun by more and more cars, and what the city needs is more and more decent mass transit transport facilities, not more driverless cars. But where India can contribute greatly is in the technology relating to the creation of software for driverless cars. And I think that's where the focus of India should be, on providing safe driverless cars through their software. And I believe we can emerge as leaders in this area.
Thank you, sir. CM, sir, your perspective on this as well, please.
No, I think what Mr. Tata says is absolutely correct. We need the technology part of driverless cars. So we can create the technology, we can provide them to all parts of the world. But so far as India is concerned, of course, for mass public transport to be very dependable, to be very credible, we can use driverless technologies. But otherwise, I don't think that as of now, we require, for private cars, we require the driverless technology. We have a lot of human resource which we need to employ. So maybe a lot of skill development to make our drivers drive more safe is a better way. So on technological part, I totally agree that we need to create the technology, but for the world.
Well, Ravi Bhaskar from Mumbai, Mr. Tata has a question for you.